Today we're going to be going over drums, just a basic dubstep drum pattern. They consist of a kick, a snare, crash, ride, and hat. This is the simplified version at least. Let's get into it. So here I have my kick. Here I have my snare. Here I have my crash, ride, hat. I'm going to turn all these off by pressing 0. Just to start out any basic drum pattern, you'll have your kick on the 1 and your snare is going to go on the 3rd. So you press 0 to activate it. This right here is the basic dubstep pattern. You just need to copy this. So this is what 1 bar sounds like. There you go. So all you need to do is take this bar, okay, 1 bar from 1 to 2, and then you need to press Control D to duplicate it and make a 4-bar pattern. This is what that will sound like. So that's the basis of just an easy dubstep pattern. When we add the crash over the kick every 2 bars, that'll add just a lot of weight to the kick and adds good syncopation to like the whole drop itself or wherever you're making the drum pattern. Next up, you just need a ride. It's kind of like a hi-hat, but it's a little bit more open than just a and you need those every quarter note. And if you just put this into quarter note by right-clicking on the grid, going to quarter, just shave it to a quarter note and literally just duplicate it through. So now we have just a super basic rhythm and dubstep pattern. So overall, this is a pretty easy pattern, honestly. You could make a couple of these and, you know, put some practice in for a couple of days and have this down to a science. Now time for the hi-hat. So this is where we're going to add groove. So a simplified way of doing this is we had these in quarter notes, right? So now you can just break the math down and put this into 1/8 notes. And then you can have just the easiest syncopated rhythm of drums. So we're just going to duplicate this all the way through. That's what this sounds like. Sick, we're grooving. So you could really use this in a dubstep song. But before we move into hi-hat stuff, I want to do some kick drum and snare drum move-arounds. So like I stated before, this is an easy little drum pattern for dubstep. Now if we were trying to get into more like a trap kind of feeling, you know, and get some variation, if we want to go boom, clap, boom, boom, clap, because that's the basic trap pattern, we'll go move this kick over to the 4th beat here, and then put one on the 2nd beat of the 2nd bar, which you can click and hold Control and drag and drop it somewhere else. So now this is what your drum pattern will sound like. It'll give you that trap feel. What I'm doing here is you just literally want to make 2 bars and then duplicate this and you're good to go. Sweet. So now literally you can just go back and highlight all your hats and stuff, and you can press 0 to activate them again, and you can play it again, and here you go, you have a different kind of drum pattern. A really good way to do this as well is kind of counting it in your head, like 1, 2, my bad, apologies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. The snare's always going to land on the 3rd. This thing cannot go anywhere else in the dubstep drop. I mean, unless you're making a fill and getting into more complex things later. Anyways, every time it will land on this 3rd, which you can indicate up here by this 2, 3, this 3/3, this 4. No matter where I go in the bars, if you go up to any of these numbers, you know, these numbers right here, you know, the 0.3, that's your third count on the bar, and that is where the snare will go. So now, if we wanted kind of more of a humanized feel, instead of like this robotic hat pattern where it's just over and over again, you kind of want more of like a robotic feel. I mean, a human feel, not a robotic feel, because it is robotic. Anyways, if we take the hats, duplicate them, deactivate our previous ones. I'm going to show you guys how to get like a different velocity without having to do too much work and stuff. It's taken me a little bit of time to figure this one out, but so if we go into one of these clips and delete everything but a couple of them, I just need 3. Right here, that sounds good, but it's not humanized. So if you take one of these and you put it into Warp, and then you put it into Complex Pro, and then you do the hold control and drag and drop it over these other ones, now I'll have open ones to use. So if you hold Control, Alt, Shift, and click the audio file inside of this, you're going to be able to move it around and change the velocity of it. It's literally that easy. So then you can take the other one and move it just a little bit back or a little bit less, however you want it. Just use your ears and you can make 3 different hats out of one. Again, Control Alt Shift is the key sequence for being able to slide the audio file in place, but you have to have it in Pro or Complex Pro. You can't have it in the Beats mode. So now we have 3 different hats, and now we can make like a cooler rhythm with these 3 and just repeat it. But what we can do is put it on the off beats of where the rides are sitting. And now when we play with like the rides, it sounds super good and super humanized. And then what you can do after you find the little pattern you want is you can press Control J and it'll consolidate it all into one audio file for you. And then of course just duplicate. So now we'll play both of the patterns back to back and see which one sounds a little bit better. Just let me know, I guess, what you guys like better. So there's the basics of dubstep patterns. It's literally that easy. I'll get into EQing later and effects you can do to make the drums more powerful, how to sidechain and stuff like that. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. If you guys have any recommendations, leave something in the comments, please.